The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that come in after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Dayton, I say up and running. Caliban say my show boy don't ever give in. 7 years of farm and watch the crops.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Inner City that premieres on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM at 6:30 to 8 p.m. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259. And you can text BTC at 422GR96. I'm your host, Valentino Ron, a.k.a. Scrooge, Governor, MP. It's just a pleasure to have an opportunity each Friday to come on there, babes, and to have a conversation on how we can make progress. We talk about the challenges we face in the country. We talk about the stories. And we do these things in order for us to get a good understanding some of the things that are being going on in our country, especially inside the inner city for many, many years. And it's been like under the radar. And, most people would think us as people from the inner city are the core culprit. And we like to bring a balance to let the powers to be that just don't point your fingers at the guys on the streets that are shooting guns. They're connected. So if we look at it, and we had this thing about anti-gang, our legislation that was passed. And, we always pointing the fingers at the guys. But you could see now we could also throw that away because we have different fractions of what we so-called gangs in the country, and it goes deep into our culture. And we point the finger in one direction in order to hide most of our problems, and we could never solve them. But everything that you do as a country in the dark, will come to light in order to better the country. So everything that's going on in the country right now that is being exposed in high places and low places is a result to guide us back to a place where we can say we have a good family structure. We have a good governance system that is fair to all. We have a good hospitality industry, whether it's the hoteling, whether it's the nurses and doctors who work extremely hard in the country. So yes, we talk about a lot of those stuff, and it's just amazing to see that, we can make progress, once we expose our weaknesses. So yes, I'm the host of the show Inside the Inner City, and like I said, it comes on every 6:30 to 8 p.m. I was supposed to have some guests come in the studios today. Omar Thompson's supposed to be here, but he's not here as yet. I think that's him just messaged me. So I tried to have a conversation on some things that Okay. Talking that concern the country until they reach, if they reach. So, first of all, I'd like us to give my condolences to the family of the 3 brothers that lost their life in a traffic fatality, in the country. I just could imagine, how the mother, the father, the family feel, the sisters, the brothers, how they feel right now. It must be very devastating to them as a family because, you get 3 bad notes. You get 2 first, then you get the next one after that. All family, I can't tell you, the pain that the family is going through as we speak right now. Man, I heard the sister spoke, or the cousin spoke. She mentioned that, none of them had no children. That's a hard pill to swallow for that family. I don't know the circumstances involving the accident, but I try my best to give a good 2 cents. And again, my condolences to the family. Like I said, I don't know the circumstances surrounding the accident, but I'm not speaking on their behalf. But I'd like to say this to drivers who are driving on the streets of Nassau, New Providence, as I speak right now on Guardian Radio. Passengers, let me just say this. Basically like a Friday night, like tonight, everyone right now is preparing themselves to get ready for the night party. Tonight, boys, young men, young ladies, husband, wives, going over with their friends tonight just to enjoy themselves after a whole week of hard work, I should say. So they want to go and relax themselves. Normally when you go out with friends. And sometimes people consume more alcohol than normal, than they usually do. So when they would party and friends jinx one another, come on, take the next one, come on, take the next one. And then you insisting, I have to drive, back home, but they're insisting. But the dangers that most people don't understand is that instinct that you're saying that, that's enough for me and I shouldn't be drinking while driving. You're trying to tell your friend that, it's not safe, but they're insisting, and then you fighting it and you decide to say, man, let me take 1 or 2 more. Okay. Sometimes, it's very hard to turn down a friend, especially when you're partying, because you think nothing's going to happen. You're not thinking about the consequences of jumping in the car. And there are other people out there intoxicated just like you. See, you think you're the only one having fun. You think you only your boyfriend or your girlfriend's going out to have fun. But when you go in the club, there's hundreds of people in this club. And there are other clubs that people are doing similar to you. So the same way you were talking to your friend who's a driver and trying to persuade them to drink more, there are many other people out there who are in the same position. So what you think what is going to happen when you come on the streets of Nassau, when you're not going to abide by the rules and regulation, speeding and not stopping to the red light, you're intoxicated, so you're on the main road, you're making excessive amount of speed, sometimes 90, 100 miles per hour, tip of the wheel, the car could flip. So I would just like to say to all of the passengers and drivers out there, don't be afraid to say to the driver, hold on, buddy, we could get home safe. Please just slow down and take our time. We could get home safe. And if you are a passenger in the car where you're seeing the driver is driving erratic, excessive speed, going from lane to lane, you don't want to say nothing, you're laughing, and you don't want to say nothing because you think it's fun. And, man, I used to driver. You ever watch NASCAR? The most experienced set of drivers themselves is make a crucial mistake. Some things you can't control. Tire could burst. You could have a next erratic driver. In the back you could clip you. Car flips over. All these things you got to take in consideration. So drink in moderation. And as a passenger, like I said, do not be afraid to say to the driver, hey man, listen, stop this car. And if they don't want to stop the car, and you see that they want to continue driving, Man, you can insist, stop this car, and then if you have to walk, because walking might could save your life. You understand? Because a lot of people is being intoxicated, and there's a lot of other people who can't drive. And if we're talking about driving in the Bahamas right now, okay, there's so many laws being breaking in the streets of Nassau right now. You know, some people just driving for themselves. You understand? And we need the citizens themselves to police themselves in this kind of situation. You know, because we have a lot of high traffic fatalities in the country. And look at the cases, mostly speeding. And then when you look at it, a lot of people, you know, don't have license and insurance and et cetera. And then you have a lot of people who are in the country are driving around the streets in Nassau and they don't have no document whatsoever. You understand? So I feel it for the three young men and the family, you know, and it must be extremely painful for that family, you know. And the mom is also asking for assistance from anyone who wants to assist in burying her three children, you know. And that's the sad part about it, you know. How hard it is, you think, is for her to come on a national platform and say to the general public that if you can assist me in helping bury my three sons. And the thing is, that will happen. There are people out there who, in this country, still have a heart. And as I'm speaking right now, she probably done really got sorted from some caring Bahamian or some human being around the world who feel the pain of the family, you know, and will assist in the burial of the three young men. So sometimes you have the power of life and death in your hand. So as youngsters, you know, there's nothing wrong with going out partying, but you must understand that you can overindulge yourself, and that itself can actually cause you to make crucial mistakes and it cost the lives of you and your friends, you know. And we need to really take a look at our driving regulation in the country. We need to have more road traffic officers, you know, on the streets of Nassau, New Providence, you know. And we need more signage up in the country, dealing with speed, and, you know, and we also need regular briefings. We basically need regular briefings, you know, from road traffic like they normally do on certain matters involving a lot of the incidents that are happening in the country, and to tell the Bahamian public to be more careful. I gotta make sure I can't talk right now. Yeah, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. And again, like I said, you know, drive with due care and caution, because the life you save might be wherever you want. Okay. So just recently we see where we have close to 87 murders. It's around September. Look like we headed to 100 plus murders again this year. I also like to give my advice to many of the people out there who are still living now. Well, it is something that already left, you know. We who still living supposed to learn something from these 85 individuals, you know, what they did wrong or what was the reason they lost their lives and the circumstances on how they lost their lives. And basically when you look at it, you know, domestic, some involved gang activity, some retaliation, you know, some over petty stuff, you know, some over woman, you know. Then we have a lot of man-to-man incidents and female-to-female incidents. And, you know, we are a violent nation. So I was to this event the other day by the Greek Orthodox Church in Grandstand, and I was invited by my good friend Miss Alexandria Melis. She had a program that talking about gender violence, And basically, it really was talking about the male, probably abusing the female. And as I sat, I listened to some of the presentators at the event, and they did a wonderful job of explaining, as a teacher, as a counselor from the school, as a a PE teacher and stuff, having close contact with students. She made a very valid point. So a lot of laws we are passing now seems to be like we really don't know exactly why we're passing these laws, because these laws that we are passing is kind of one-sided when it's not really solving the problem, because we are not really understanding the problem. In most cases, we always blaming the male. But when you look at the statistics around the world now, it's basically women in relationship with women, have an abusive relationship, men against men. Statistics are very, very high in the country. So if we're here still in the country having a conversation about gender and we're blaming the man, when we look at the reports, because I listened to my good friend who is a police officer, and confidentially, he just talking, and he'd talk about the calls they're receiving, and they have to go and check it out. And he's stating that most of the time it is be females, who have problems with their girlfriend. I don't know how they call it, And he said it's so much of that. So I'm to the meeting, I'm trying to find an idea of why we are still talking about gender violence, right? When we should be talking about all violence. Because, like I say, we have here where females in school are walking together holding hands. It's their rights. I'm not to judge nobody. I don't know if it's right in God's eye. I don't know if it's right in people who are straight or married couples, seeing these things happening in our public schools. And then we have boys, who liking boys in public school. And it's crazy. And as the teacher was saying this, she is afraid because she said you can't control them. And what most people don't understand about these same-sex relationship is that they're more violent than a male and female, or husband and wife. Because I believe that they be more aggressive, because it's not in their natural genes to be male to male or woman to woman. So in a sense, there's some type of hormone that normal couples don't have, that same-sex couple seems to inherit. And that's what we call, I don't know. So what I'm just trying to say is that we are a violent nation, and these, like the anti-gang, like the gender violence bill, they're trying to always blame the men, persecuting the men. And it's crazy. It's like we want to fix the Bahamas, but yet still everything points to the men. But yet still we don't want to empower the men. So I was reading the newspaper, and Candy from Form, she was playing to she was playing to the general public on helping build a violence community center, I guess, in her community of Nassau Village. And she is saying that about the PLP and F&M, she have been talking to for numerous time and time again to see how they can assist on building this center. So she is asking, and her organization is Sorry about that. You know, her organization, FOAM, she deals with at-risk youths who are being killed, and she addresses the family, and she helps any way possible with the deceased loved one. And she advocates for more community development, Omar Reaching Studios. And she is doing a great service in a particular part of the community, because we need people who take the mantle and to be able to see the problem right, and how to address the problem is to find a solid solution. So you canvas the area, you come up with your creative idea, and you see how you can use your publicity that you have gained over the years of people seeing you being sincere, and you use the airwaves and use your opportunity when you speak to government officials or you speak to people who come meet you from around the world, and you make these points and you show them why it's so important to build a violence shelter. So I think that a person like Candy from FOAM is doing a tremendous job in fighting the crime fight, and also to bring some resolve to the country's high homicide rate in the country. So I get Omar Thompson, my guest, as Reaching Studio. There's a call on the line. So what I'm going to do, Omar, before I let you come on, I'm going to let this caller have a few minutes, and then I'll get to you, and then we could go from there. Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on Inside in the City on Guardian Radio.
No problem, sir. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. Actually, I remembered to check into your program after your guest made an announcement this morning that you'll be on the program.
Yeah.
I appreciate his contribution in the morning show. But I am also calling in advance of him, because actually, even before he got on, I wanted to commend you for the way you have begun the program. Especially, I love your new team, the music.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I love your bravery in addressing matters. I'll start with the end, and then I'll get back to the beginning, about the domestic violence. The domestic violence that sometimes people normally refer to domestic violence and gender violence as male versus female. But it's male and male, female and female, and male on female, female on male, vice versa. It's all together. So it's all violence, and it's all that need to be addressed and not to be skewed.
Yes, sir.
Giving the impression that men are the only dangerous people in the world, and men got to be careful with your girl child because of the man. Everything bad is about the man. I saw a woman slapped a man in a truck. I think it was a South Beach clinic in the parking lot.
Yes, sir.
And he was so embarrassed, he put the truck in drive and gas and drove away quickly. So, a lot of times women hit men, and men don't even they don't do the thing.
Yes,
they
sir.
don't even report it, because when they get they might get laughed at.
Yes, sir.
But thank you very much, and I will listen in to the program. I want you to say that I support the inner city. I once lived in the inner city, and I suppose that if all of us who once lived in the inner city will contribute like yourself, we will be a better place.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And also, I welcome your guests.
Yes, sir.
We are all together. We are all one in it.
Thank you very much, caller. That's
You're
teacher. Thank you very much for the call. And yes, the producer said, Chris, we have to take a break. And after the break, we have Omar Thompson, community leader, Centerville, East Street area, doing a tremendous job. We'll be right back after the break on Guiding Radio, 96.9 FM.
Where I from Dayton, right between Western.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
When you jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on, all you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to
Star 106.5.
Plus, get fresh news and smart talk on
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're back on Guardian Radio. And it's a pleasure again to be your host. This night on this wonderful Friday, it's raining outside, so again, please drive with due care and caution. Tonight, I have my guest, Omar. He's talking just now off air, talking with his little experience. So, Omar, are you in studio today? And I always like to bring persons who are contributing greatly to the country. Omar just had a recent event. I would like to hear a little bit more about that. And then I want to give you input on like how we to 80-some murders. And then what is our directory? What do we need to do in order to deal with some of this conflict resolution in the country? But you can introduce yourself.
Good night, Bahamas. Omar Thompson, the organization is United Against Crime, and I am humbled and happy to be here in the land of the living amongst you nice folks. I would like to say at the end, to start, that I am always happy to be around a brother like Valentino and my brother. We did many, many years together, here, doing good, doing bad, whatever, but we stand firm, and he stand firm. This gentleman, this young man, this scholar, entrepreneur, people's person, philanthropist, Valentino Brown has come a long, long way. We saw a lot of things. He saw a lot of stuff in the heart of the ghetto. It's called the border. That's the border boys. What did they call the place? It's another one. Couple things. They had a couple names.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line is, he's doing a good thing. What we have to do, I tell you people, is try to empower people like himself to, sponsor and push, It's one thing for us to listen and say, oh, I can hear what the fella's saying, or you bringing on nice persons to talk and whatever. But it's the next thing, like the caller said before the commercial, put something back in the city, put something back. We have premiers and doctors and lawyers and scholars and all these different persons coming out of the ghetto. But what are we putting back into it? We just can't drive through and leave it. We gotta put something back. Yeah, some people might not want to come back and sit down, but you could put your little 1,000 or 2 and see what's happening, and everyone will have to call your name for it, Valentino has been pushing this like 10 years now on Guardian Radio. 10 years is a decade, and then myself and yourself, now you're half a century now. So you understand these big names and big numbers we call in. God has been good enough to keep us here because a lot of our friends and colleagues and persons who've been involved in stuff who didn't see the light are not here. They thought they could have beat it.
Well, there's thousands, bro.
But you can't beat it. You can never beat it. Whatever you do comes back to you, and that's what something I want to say to the young persons. Most young persons always think they could beat time. You could never beat that. They always just say time longer than rope. I walked in the station a couple of minutes ago speaking with an elderly gentleman, and one of my legs bad. I hit it the other day, and I trying to get up the stairs. So he said, "Look, I can meet you up there." So he could meet me half, and two of us limping, But he said something very important. He said, as you know, they have a old saying, you live long enough, you get to appreciate life. And that's something, as him and I walked, we get to understand.
True saying.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of persons don't get to live to these ages to understand what it is to have back pains, or what it is to have neck pains, or what it is to have arthritis or whatever it is. These guys dying at 20-something years old. Who think them, man? Ladies the same way, 13, 15, 16, 21, 29, you know, and they're not seeing life, you know? So I'm saying at the end of the day, you know, it was another important, statement he made that, and I agree with him. He had a conversation. This is like a 2-minute walk, but a 2-hour conversation.
Yes.
And we was like, okay, and he was like, you have kids, you go to school. The parents in the old days were responsible, and they did respond. They had the responsibility to growing us up as kids. We look forward to them to nurture us, to feed us, to buy us uniforms, to help us to get to school and whatever. They didn't have to do it, but they did it. But the problem here today is the children come in, or the parents now aren't so old, or they're not so smart to be able to get that same trend back. They're sitting back and they're like, hey, these children got to go to fight and defend for their own selves. So they're not coming back to the old ways where we're totally responsible for our kids, stuff for themselves. And that's why a lot of crime happening, because you have the young kids bringing stuff into the houses, the mummies and daddies accepting it, then the police get involved, then you're creating a criminal, then they be in jail, you know, then they back out of jail, and then they telling your mommy, you can't tell me nothing because I didn't buy you this, I didn't get this, and that TV is mine, and this. You understand?
So where you getting this all? Where you experience all this stuff?
Man, well, you know, we come from the school of hard knocks.
But most people listening to you right now, you actually seeing this on a regular basis, and this is actually what leading up to a lot of the criminal elements happening in our country.
Definitely.
So you're telling us the grassroots problems that we're facing in the city community right now, based on what we're seeing when you see man shot dead in front of family and all this stuff. These are the same kids who would eventually end up doing the same stuff.
Yeah, and if you're noticing, Valentino in Bahamas, the crimes are getting more heinous, where persons are not caring in what regards or who was around when certain things happen. One time ago on the road, it was like, hey, you got children around, you got girlfriends around, wife around, mother around, but that's a no-go.
I agree.
You know, it was like a principal level of things. Now we have come like, hey, whatever it is, it's my target, I got to take this down, whatever it is. You understand? So now, I mean, I'm going to say this to you, because you know, you'd mentioned earlier, and I like to try and follow protocol and whatever it is you put in place. We had an event the other day, the organization, which is about 15 years old, and we did, God is so miraculous.
15 years
man.
now, Omar?
Yeah. You know, and we've been doing it 15. You know, you do 10 here, and we were starting before.
Yeah.
You know, we started before when we were starting with
Debbie
Mr. Roll and Debbie Bartlett,
Yeah,
and Mr., you know, and all this, you know. So I would tell you, people in the Bahamas, you have to believe in God, right? You have to believe. God is like, once you get to that level where you have that different set of belief, when you have that different understanding, you could feel like you're walking on water, and you would walk on water, you know? It was raining all that weekend. So I sit down, you know, I sit down, talk to my girl, and like, boy, you know, I never felt one waver that it wouldn't happen. Just going through the process. I sat down on Friday. I said, I called, man, you should postpone, you should do this, you should do that. And I mean, I said, no, we're going forward. Valentino, we started for 3. From 2 o'clock, the weather changed. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And the sky like opened up.
Wow.
And you know, the thing about it was so good. You had kids coming there and they stopping because we had like big water slides. And I would tell you, my confidence is so great and so positive with God. even if the rain come, we still was gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Because it was a total water day.
Yeah.
Like, granted, we had some clothes we wanted to give, we had some food we wanted to put out, you know what I mean? But we had like big water slides, big bouncing castles, we had the barbers and everything there. But I would tell you, for the 3 hours we were there, not a drop of rain.
Oh.
And God opened up, He let's stop that sky for the time. You know what I mean? That's a different level of belief, man. And I would tell you, we had hundreds of children. You know what I mean? They was out there. The pictures that proof, you know? And they was just there. They had a good time. They bounced around. The guys got their haircut. The good ladies got their hats. I mean, their hairs plait.
Some
you
backpacks.
Oh, there's hundreds of backpacks. We had some persons came down from Atlanta, from a junk. We have some Junkanoo people down in Atlanta called the Junkanoo Group. Atlanta Junkanoo Group. You know what I mean?
I heard about it.
Yeah, and they came down and they gave some packages out also. We had our MP, Jomo Campbell, came through, and he came with this stuff. You know, it's like Christmas. You know,
he combined with you guys.
Yeah, so he came in and he did his part. I would tell you this.
Not
man.
against crime.
I would tell you this, sir. I want to give like mad applause to everyone who actually put out and pushed for back to school gifts and stuff. All the politicians, all of the different organizations, all of the stores and the groups, because I don't think no kids
was left out.
And if they are, get on the phone and give me a call. If you can find somewhere to get some books or get some bags or pencils and pens to your students, you know what I mean? And we had a conversation where we applauded the Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis, and Dennis Hanna Martin on that breakfast event.
Yeah.
That is so very important. Do you know how many times persons sit down and go to school without breakfast? Because they didn't have it.
Thousands.
So imagine you going, you can't learn if you're hungry.
No.
You can't focus. You know what I mean?
And you ain't gonna focus without the proper bags and proper shoes and proper uniform.
Okay, so I say this is man. I would tell you about 8 years ago, and 8, 9 maybe years ago, and we're still going through the process of dealing with this very same thing with this organization. But God run you through a certain, carry you certain stuff so you can be able to understand exactly where you come from, the way you go in, and then you drop everything inside your hand. If you have something good in plan,
no, you have the bill.
So I was there, like one time, and person said it's going to donate some stuff or whatever, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. They never came through. I mean, but you still had to focus with God, and I would tell you out there, because we just don't limit it just to Centerville.
No. People come from all around. People come from all around,
and God is provide.
Yeah,
I would tell you for the 15 years, God been providing. You know what I'm saying? So. My mom, she has a church, Love With Finding Ministry, and she brings her persons out, and they come in, and then, he do roll, all the churches around, we get everybody involved. And so I was like, when I came outside, it was like, I think like 4, and I cook. I like to cook. I learned it from my Grammy. Yeah? I was on one of the world, that's us, But, I cook, and I would say that we wasn't enough food. And we had like about 100 person on this line, and I said to myself, I said, boy, God, I said, this ain't gonna happen. I mean, this can't happen. I was like in the early part of the stuff, and my mom was there taking up the food, and we had like about 6, 8 shaving dishes, and I was like, boy, scratch my head. I said, like, boy, how I can make this happen? Because people are hungry and they need some stuff happening. And I would tell you this, that walking into the shaving dishes and lifting each one of them, I felt like when Jesus fed the 5,000.
That's how you feel?
Every single thing was full. People eat until they couldn't eat no more. You understand? And I would tell you that stuff like that is what push you. And what pushed me to keep and continually getting it, making it happen. People come and donate stuff and they do this stuff, and a lot of people didn't do it. But they go back to understand what country is about. And we got to pour ourselves back into the country, and then God can pour into us.
You think that can make a difference, pouring back inside the country?
Definitely. Definitely,
I know, but I just saying
I'm saying, sir, if you don't believe, if a woman don't believe in a house, she ain't keep it clean. She ain't keep it Devon there up and, sexy and got the carpets and, a lot of males, they would go out and get the money and make things happen. And what you want? Well, I want this rug up, I want tiles. Yeah, get that. But time passed, the job of the female was to go there and make things happen and make these curry and the parties and other things. But you can build houses, but you can't build homes. You know, a family, a wife, a husband, a unit creates a home.
Cousins, nephews.
And we have to learn to, at the end of the day, teach our kids to respect that home. A lot of things when it comes to crime happen because there was no respect. Because we allow the kids to come in and they bring their friends and the guy bring one 55-inch TV in there and he's sitting up because his friend help him carry it and they teeth it. And
the mother's struggling, so she just accept it coming in the house.
And then what happened? You know,
and he started to linger around and bring drugs and he bring guns and then,
they smoke it right in the front of you.
Yeah,
and you can't have no control.
And then you wonder why some guys will come and shoot up the house because the yard that happen a lot of bad wives, so people don't respect the household.
There's a level of principle we're losing. There's a level of neighborly love we're losing. You know, the younger persons aren't understanding who Valentino is. Yeah. They hear about him, but they ain't understanding it. And at the end of the day, they don't totally have to understand. And our past, we got to understand it. We have to learn respect.
Yes.
When we walk past Mr. Valentino, we say good morning.
Because you know what's going to happen next.
You understand? So
you know what's going to happen if you pass, going to school, you would say something else when we kick in your ear. And that's what we used to do.
Definitely.
You see a sign up there, and you pass when you move enough, we wait till you pass. Come here, little man, come back. Come here. Right, you know, because I would say, go ahead.
And I say this is, you look at the end of the day, I keep thinking if jail is the answer. No, you know what I mean? Because persons going into jail, coming back out and worse than they was. You know? And so are we just
recycling
and breeding criminals? Because it's like they call it a college, and it's a college. So do we find another avenue to try and get into these guys? And we have some very good programs in jail. I tell you this. They have very good programs in it. I ain't knocking it. I'm just saying to you that we have to find a better way to reform our young men and to reform our young ladies into becoming productive persons in society when they come back out.
I'm going to ask you a question. You know, because tonight is your show. You know, I heard you say all that, but I want you to answer this question to me. Now, you said that there really be at respect. You know, we'd see a grandmother on the porch, and, you know, I can remember a few times I went through, going looking for my enemies, and their grandmothers on the porch, and, you know, they was on the porch, and we would walk there, and I said, "Boy, you're lucky your grandmother here. So you better say thanks to your grandmother." You understand? And we'd walk away, so when they see you on the road, it could be me and you. Because somewhere down the road, that grandmother was a person who had some type of respect, and we knew something about the grandmother. But the grandmother them also had the Spirit of God, and we also had a little bit of teaching about God. Can I ask you now, this generation in the last 20 years, do you think they know anything with Jesus or God? Talking to them personally?
Well, I tell you this.
Talk a little bit in the mic, please.
I tell you this.
I want the church to hear this answer.
I tell you this, Valentino. God has never stopped being a part of humanity. Now, what is being preached during that time, the way it being done, the strategies used to get the message out might have changed. When I was younger, they say you would be able to see the inner part of a person by like their parents. Saying this, you have a different glow when you become a Christian. That's what they were saying. Like when you become a man of God, person. You become a new person. Your presentation is different. Your dress is different. Your speech is different. Amen? Now, not knocking, at the end of the day, when persons come and they go to church and they, you have to be respectful. You have to act respectful. You have to look respectful. If a guy comes in after being incarcerated for 25 years, walks into a center, evangelistic center, whatever it is, and he's saying the same thing he see on the road. He like, what's going on here? I trying to change, but it ain't nothing much different. It's go right back to, again, Valentino is good about principle and loyalty and respect and family values, because the family is what, listen, my grandma had me in church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go, I ain't want to go, you're going.
You notice all the churches be empty on Sunday now? The young kids hanging up on the road, they on their phone or on TV. They don't even think about going to church on Sunday now.
Because the principle's gone.
So we're wondering why this generation now just would shoot you in broad daylight with everyone around. And then the thing is, they still lost themselves to jail next day because you're going to hear about it.
Yeah.
You know, all you hear is voluntary bill of indictment. You hear them commit a murder. You ain't know who do it, but we had the head of Romans on the first day. Then the second day we hear the whole story. Then the third day we hear person get picked up, right? Then we listen next day, bill of voluntary indictment. You know what that means? You're finished. And that's all we seeing now happen in the country. They willing to go there and just kill in broad light and do all that. And I think it's a lack of them losing the ideal of Christ and Jesus and John the Baptist and all the goodness. I think that is eroding our country. They're not seeing it. No one is applying it to them. No one is coming to them and talking to them. No one is coming to their house when their brothers and sisters are being abused or their loved one is being killed or, you know, the lighters are off and the children get in problem in school and they need someone to come assist them from the church or wherever in society because, you know, they are vulnerable. They're looking for that Jesus Christ concept where Christ would mix and mingle and talk and see how he could help and mentor, you know. It's you know, and people are not seeing that now. And I think that's one of our biggest problems, Omar.
Valentino, how do we, and this goes to the Bahamas also, how should we discipline our kids when they rude?
Well, you don't have to necessarily hit your kid, first of all. If they have certain items they receive of good behavior, like, for instance, you give them a tablet or internet access and they misbehave, you take that away from them. You understand? Or if they want a pair of Clarks shoes for the upcoming new school season, and you say, well, look, you got to clean the house and wash your dishes, or you got to be in here at a certain time, and they fail to not do that, you take away that. You see? You don't necessarily have to hit. So you take away that privilege. So if they don't be disobedient and they curse, okay, you ain't eating that in this house. Until you apologize and then do your chores. We have to get back to that. It's not all hitting kids, because hitting kids make them 10 times rougher and tougher. But yeah, your side of the story.
No, I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying, because some people go overboard with what they do to kids, you know what I mean? But I would tell you, discipline, it don't hurt.
No, don't hurt. No, you got to hit.
Now, you look at, they have an old saying, say you spare the rod, you spare the child. But then they have some people who aren't too straight in the head.
That's where it's going to come to with the discipline.
And then they abuse the child.
Yeah, because...
That's a whole different level.
Yeah, because, you know, the child is stubborn. You know, it won't listen. So you get frustrated as a parent and you have to hit the child.
We had one time ago, we had guys, some of the baddest bullies inside the area, and they used to carry on there. But when they mother come, this short woman, particularly woman.
Grab them.
And she grabbing and she slapping and kicking them.
And all we doing is laughing.
And guess what he doing? He drop his head down. And I know he could take it, he'd break us up. But he come down and say, look, yo, we mind we something, you know.
So we killed ourselves laughing.
You understand? But when he come out, you got to break our front.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's true.
But it was a level of respect.
Yes, sir.
And what he had for his mom and his family, that's what we got to get back to.
And
we have to get back to that level of respect. And I would tell the Bahamas, when little fellas passing you, they walk past. I was standing up just the other day, little fella, and some of them don't know. 3 or 4 big man, we talking, and he walking straight through. I say, hey, bro, hey.
Walk around.
Hey.
Say, excuse me.
I said, this man, you don't do that. But guess what he did? Oh, sorry, excuse me. They know.
Because you put him in place.
Put him in his place. They know. The Bahamians have the understanding of what should happen, you know. But if no one enforce it, that's when the problem happens. If we allow them to get away with it. If you come in your house and you say, listen, at my door, there's no shoes beyond that door. That's your principles. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a mother what said that and she's decide that. She even ain't talk. She just looking. She looking eye up and down. You come walk in them shoes. Mm-hmm. She look at your face and look at the shoes. And then you gotta know. You say, well, what the hell going on? Even your friends around you, they standing up. Mommy is a no shoes on, so she look at your face and look at their shoes, and she ain't talking. Mm-hmm. The boy might take off their shoes in the woman's house. It's a level of principle we need to bring back to these young people.
In order for us to stand a chance.
You understand? And we need to let them understand, even in the hotels industry, even in the work industry, let's get a good morning, let's get a good afternoon. You know what I mean? Managers and directors, make these people, you got to start from us to make some changes for them to bring it back to the house.
Because we are some very angry people in this country, all right? Like you saying good morning and stuff like that, people look in the face and won't say good morning.
Yeah.
You know?
God, Brett.
But I want to say something to you. When we say church and we say Christian, I know that Christ, never said he was a Christian. I just want to let everyone know this. All right? He wasn't a part of no religion. He just came, and wherever he went, he preached the preaching of his Father and talk about, how to live amongst ourselves, how we treat one another, how we care for one another, how that when we're down, we uplift one another. Talked about how the taxes and how, the tax collector needs to bring down the tax. He talked to the legion. Mm-hmm. You understand? People who were possessed with many demons. He feed the 5,000, but I listened to someone who talked about the 5,000 story and they gave their concept about it. And he said that, Christ inspired others that they had to sit down to actually share their food, the rich people, the people who had it in abundance. So that's how they was able to spread that 5,000, feed the 5,000. But my point is this. Christianity to me has been bound to the church. You are more Christ-like. This is not a slap on the face of the church. Members of the church supposed to be how a person like yourself who see the need. You don't know how or what role you're going to play, but you decided to take this role. And when you decided to take this role, you talk about the glitches, not knowing what direction you was going into, but you just needed to do something. And you started your organization. I can remember you came to me, my brother. Mm-hmm. You came to me and said, my brother, I want to help with what you're doing. I say, and you said that you want to do something in your part of the community. And when you came to me, I said, okay, Omar, you get the platform, hook you up with Debbie Bartlett, and you continue to climb and you keep on climbing. Mm-hmm. And you know what you did? I was on my end doing my things for over 20-something years. For the whole part of that Centerville and that Mason Edition area. But you didn't know where you was going. Mm-hmm. See, these people need to understand. And look at the process.
Yeah.
Now you're helping hundreds of kids with park. You're helping people with small jobs, giving guys jobs on the side of the road. Even give me a little gig on the side of the road once in a while. And I appreciate it. You see, I say, and I'm proud of you. But that is being Christ-like, my brother.
Agreed.
You understand? Because you're feeding the multitude. And if you get more people to understand that if you go in these inner city communities and you start to give back, you also will receive.
Right.
But you will be able to see the joy. Like how you say, you're so happy helping all those kids and seeing them going home with their bike, pack, food, because you can, that feeling. See, that feeling what you feel, my brother, is love and appreciation. And you know where you got that from? Let me show you where you get that from. You get it from each and every individual that came there. Some didn't know you, but everyone knew you at the end of the day. You were standing up over there, and people were saying, that's the man right there who gave you a backpack. And they'd look. Some of them you won't notice. And all their prayers and their thanks at that particular time to who all those organizations, Mr. Campbell, and who all, what you said the organization was there?
John Canoe, Atlanta John Canoe.
Atlanta John Canoe for doing an extremely important task. I want them to know that what they did is very important because you all take the burdens off the parents now that these kids get these backpack. Right. The parents now don't have to worry about buying no backpack and no books and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now they can focus on saying, look what I could give. School is opening. I could fix my daughter here with this money now.
Yeah.
And I get up grocery. I have $100 what I could give lunch money for her.
Yeah.
The first week, for the first week.
Yeah.
So that little backpack and the little stuff right there and the little food they carry home.
Yeah.
The mom or the father was able to use that little bit of money now. Say they can use it for something else. So that is very important. I want to just tell you, my brother, Christianity in the country can't just be in the four walls. It has to be where members can make a big, big impact. Let me ask you something. When you start off, how much money you had? Let me just share this now. Watch this. Let me show the general public. You don't have to be a politician. You just have to get the wisdom from God and just watch this. Go ahead. Let me hear this now.
No, it wasn't much.
What you think?
It was just, what I would tell you, that's been so long. I tell you it wasn't much. Maybe $100.
$100.
But it was the push, it was the need, it was the hearing the cries of persons who needed it. I could remember that we went there and then you move around the area, because I would tell you, in the days and the times past, the guys who assisted, who we tried to form, like my boy, like Dario Williams and Sean, Isaac, they call him, and these guys.
Call the company right now.
All these guys was here and they fought and we did it. Now we had a pass. Clement, Shea, all them. We had a pass. But they get together to make something different, and there still wasn't a bunch of money there. And we went then, tried to paint some houses, but I said we had to go more than that.
Go ahead, brother.
So you get there, and people is like, you say, let's do something to give back, and I said, you wanted to give back some clothes. And then you want the churches came in and they wanted to talk. But I say, something? You can't talk. And you can't put your clothes on if you ain't got nothing to eat, because people ain't here. So, people hungry.
So let me say this to the church. Just keep all your thoughts. Let me just tell the church this. I'm not disrespectful to the church. I love the church. Just that the church is not doing what they're supposed to do. Listen to me. Stop going on these parks and preaching with Jesus Christ unless you're doing something for people, all right? Let people come to Christ. Let people see your sincerity and they would come to you. You don't have to tell no one, come to Christ. You are Christ, representing Christ. If you have that energy, you have that will, you understand? People would resonate to you. But we need to stop that, man. We need to stop that and be like Christ, man. Christ is a helper. He helps with the healing of the soul. He helps with the finance. He is helpful. So let's be that type of Christ or Christianity.
Well, I could appreciate. I could appreciate the churches for, and I could appreciate even persons like you say who Christ-like. We had one hurricane a couple of years ago. That was Dorian.
We can take this call.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And we got a lot more. But when that time come, the Bahamians is pray.
Mm-hmm.
The pastors get together and pray. And God is so perfect, Valentino, that at the end of the day, even that pastor is a whoremonger, even if he is an adulterer, even if whatever he is, he still know how to pray. You know what I mean? And the Father say, judge not that he be judged.
That's true.
But I see the goodness in things when they come at us, when these hurricanes come and these earthquakes happen right in Jamaica or whatever. But we still know how to pray.
Yes.
The body.
Yes.
But you could ask your question.
Okay. Sorry, caller, it took so long. Go ahead. You're on Inside the Inner City on Guardian Radio.
No, man, no problem. Because I'm listening on the phone, I'm listening on the radio, I'm listening. I call again just to salute the gentleman that is in the studio.
Thank you,
and
sir.
I want to underscore the point that was made about discipline of children in a particular way. I'm happy that the point was made that you talk with them like the situation where the boys walk between two adults speaking, by talking to them, the young fellow you remember that he was supposed to say, excuse me, and afterwards he did the right thing.
Right.
So in this generation, even taking away things from them and depriving them don't always work. They get just as mean and tough. So if you can reach out and talk with them, or have someone who can talk with them and have them to talk back to you, and with you, not at you, in any rude manner, but in time they will also come around and apologize. So sometimes you have to have a lot of patience with this generation
Yes, sir.
right now. And you have to show them a lot of love.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And that is the key. I'm glad he said that. Love.
Love.
And that's what Christ is.
Yeah.
Love. Thank you very much, teacher. You said the right thing.
Yeah.
Everything ties into love.
Right.
And what is love? The church, politicians, us as a country. That's what it is. Love yourself as you love your neighbors, and that is Christianity right there. You understand what I'm saying? That is Christianity, love. And we need to show more love in this country.
Yes, yes.
And invest more.
Yes.
And that the producer Chris said we're going to take a break. I'll be right back after the break on Guiding Radio. Our Omar Thompson, United Against Crime, doing big things in the country. We'll be right back after the break.
Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
When you jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on, all you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to
Star 106.5.
Plus, get fresh news and smart talk on
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're back on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. In studios have Omar Thompson. We had a few callers, teacher calling in, giving us 2 cents on issues. And, me and Omar, our community leaders. And we do what we can best as possible to help out the less fortunate in our community. And Omar gave a great description on some of the challenges we face in the country, when he was talking about the young people, and how it is today, and how we need to regain the family structure, because I was on a show earlier with C. Nuri, my good friend, and Aaron Green. They do a fantastic job on Guardian Radio. And, we were having a discussion. And it was a very good discussion, Omar. And it's just, we know what the problem is, right? And we talked about single parent.
Right.
So I asked Mr. Nuri what is single parent. And he gave a definition, and Ms. Green gave a definition. Now, single parent is the most dangerous thing we could have in the country, because single parents, if you look at the statistics, it shows you that basically it's a woman. I don't think they really excluded as a man when they say single parent. It always points to a woman, so I think it's just a woman who grows up male children or female child. And in cases, they can't be able to control the he or she, because the man structure is not there. And this in turn causes the child to don't have no respect for no male, because there's no male in their lives. That's why most females nowadays, I had a few female friends who were my girlfriends and stuff, and some of my friends, I never see them speak but their daddy one time. You hear me? The females, just like the males, I've never seen them say, listen, Scrooge, come drop me my daddy, or let me get $100 or $200 for my daddy. All them suck their teeth and say, my daddy don't do nothing for me. They don't even like their daddies. The females, in the majority of the cases we see, who are not obeying to the rules, you know what I mean, like morals. You understand? They don't have a father figure. I'm telling you, I'm talking to girls and stuff like that on a regular basis. I never hear it. And this and this for the church. The majority of them never talk about God or Jesus. Look like the women in this country don't know nothing about God and Jesus in this country. That's how serious this is, man. And they're the ones who having children. So things pass in the DNA, even though it's inside of us, right? But having a conversation with a woman. Let me ask you a question. How many females you talk to? They talk about God and they talk about Jesus. Let's be honest now.
Well, I'm gonna always be honest with you. I tell you this, Valentino. It's your surroundings. You have to decide between you and I on where you gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both live and born in the ghetto, right? We understand the ghetto, but you don't let the ghetto
get the best of you.
And don't let us make us.
Once you mature.
So, I could have businesses in the ghetto. I could have different things we do in the ghetto, but if you let it take control of you, or lead you, see the thing about it is, I was born a leader, but I have to say that to myself that I'm a leader.
Yes.
You are born a leader.
Yes.
If I have a conversation, I lead the conversation.
Yeah.
The conversation with me and other females wouldn't go along the lines of party rider shorts and this and reggae music. No, we could talk what I want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about God. I want to talk about what's happening with your kids.
What's your
I want to
future?
talk about where your future going. Now, when you come on the other line and touching and stuff, I say the conversation had to be finished because we understand that. You go right back to what I'm saying to you is as men, which you talked about, have to be leaders. We have to take control of what it is, make it happen. We sometimes surround ourselves. Younger time, I'd have been in clubs. Younger time, I'd have been in little bars or restaurants or doing whatever it is. But I frequent them places, maybe not even them,
once in a while.
Once in a while.
And, you're
in the right setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when you mature yourself to a different level, you mature yourself to a different kind of crowd. I have seen the event we had the other day. We had one incident. Was it an incident? A lady came there. She is drinking. She come there trying to, and she bullying the situation.
What I said earlier in the show, I said about the drivers being intoxicated. Go ahead.
She coming there. And my job, if it's 100 people around, is to watch every single thing.
But she's going to make everything safe.
Okay? So she came there by the bikes, and she come there, and she, and I saw her getting out of hand. She like, she pushing.
She demanding stuff.
Right. So I went to her and said,
"This the government one. This the government one. So who you ain't it? Huh?"
No, but she went there and we got to see. Sometimes you have them the demon spirit on them too. You understand what I'm saying? That's why this thing about God. When you see God put a hold on something, Valentino, when you see him got a gift, when he gave you that gift, like what he gave you for 10 years, ain't nobody but him could stop that.
Yes.
When he gave me that gift to assist with this United Against Crime thing, and put that in the heavens open up and allow this thing to happen for 2 weeks, it wasn't no game. It was what happened. And so when I went there, I had to confront that demon. When she was there sitting down and making noise around the little children and cursing, I said, hey, I hold her by two arms and two sides. I said, this ain't the place. I said, not here.
She said, God, you know.
And I talking on the side of her, I said, not here. And she started to shake like she want to wiggle out. But of course, I'm a little small person.
Yeah.
So when I grab her tight up.
Yes.
I say, not here.
See your dog.
And so when I move off, she whisper back inside my ears, I just want to bike. I said, well, that's no problem.
Why you got to care like that?
Don't let a demon get up on you. Because not one of these little children are having fun. I'm saying all to say this, we have to control our atmospheres.
Yes.
We have to control what we're saying. We have to control in the environment we're in. And if it's God we want to speak about, we control that in the border. We control it on East Street. We control it in Baintown. We control it in Montalite. We control it wherever we going. We are even the control. And if the church or anybody else ain't putting the right thing out, you got to be able to speak to that.
That's right.
I have a friend who is a vocalist, I guess a media vocalist, and he do his thing. And I said to him, having a conversation, I said, man, listen, people listen to you. People hear what you're saying. People, you say A, they might go with A. You know what I mean? When you get this kind of power, at the end of the day, you got to be able to know how to house this power, to control this power. And you can't tell lies. Valentino, your voice is going around the world. You know how important that is?
Yeah.
Whatever you say is like dynamite.
That's why I'm not a liar.
And this, at the end of the day, wouldn't have been going for these 10 years.
Yeah.
For this decade.
That's right.
You've been doing something right.
Yes, sir.
So I said to him, listen, man, when you're talking, you can talk truth.
Yes.
Don't talk what no one want to hear.
Talk what people wouldn't want to hear. What they want to hear.
Truth.
That's right.
With the truth, you ain't got to talk but it 3 and 4 times.
That's why everyone loved the show and they love me.
You
Everyone
understand?
said that.
You your ghetto, ain't nothing change about you.
I ain't trying to play like better than nobody. I still walking barefoot. I still clean up. I play better than nobody.
And I would say this to the public. The public who are there listening. This young man has been fighting and striving for years. I know, and making some things happen. And all I hear him talk about is restaurant in the inner city and it's barber and stuff like that and decent things what's going on. I would tell you, you sit down at the end of the day and practice make perfect. You go there at the end of the day and you might come into something. Not you, I'm saying specifically. You come into something and say, hey, I get in this thing to do some money. But eventually you keep doing it. You say, it ain't about the money.
No. It ain't about the money.
It's about the people.
You start the...
It's about the love.
Yes.
It's about the affection.
Yes.
It's about our country.
Yes.
And you see these things happening. But I tell you this, when someone else put their money, they get fought along the way. How much persons fall on the side of you and they never get back up, Valentino? How much persons who you meet who bring you into the game and they gone?
Yeah.
You understand? What persons you had been around and sit down and talk all the best of the talk.
Yeah.
But they sit down and they lost to the cause.
Yes.
And Valentino Brown is still holding on for him. That means your voice is totally very important. That's why we need good leaders.
Yes.
We need good pastors. We need good
smarter no one.
representatives. You know what I mean? We need persons to be in place who gonna make sense. If they ain't making no sense, they got to go.
Because people's lives at stake.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta look at the end of the day, dealing with these youths. The youths ain't playing no more. You can't come to their door and say, hey, I gonna make you a millionaire. They gonna say, but you need to do that millionaire stuff you talking about. You need to do that. And they can tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what's happening now. But if you come there and speak in something where they can understand, the language they understand, you know what I say? They see sincerity. You know what I mean? We grow up in the ghetto, and God has given us a gift, not of finances to be rich. You know what I mean?
Rich in other ways.
But in our brain.
He make us rich.
You understand what I'm saying? So we could come out to be trillionaires in our brain.
Yes. And be able to
You're
solve
some
a
of
lot
the
of
smartest person
and we solve a lot of problems in the
world.
country.
But you just gotta share it too. When we get it, we just don't walk out of the ghetto and come back.
Yeah. Let me give you a prime example. How many different boards are me and you on together?
A lot.
We on different boards.
A lot.
So listen to this, people. We are not a government appointee, but we are volunteers in the Ministry of National Security, urban renewal. We just was appointed just recently at Salem Union Baptist Church as advisory on the Urban Renewal Board. Yes. Our job now is to go and give input. Yeah. I hope they really take us real serious now so that we can make a big impact to go in these communities now and fix some of the houses, come up with some of the ideas and be able to be effective as being appointed as appointees as advisory board members.
Yes.
We also, like I said, the Ministry of National Security, Neighborhood Watch.
Yes.
You know, we're going to get back in that now because now we're getting, Neighborhood Watch is one of the most difficult programs. You understand? Because, inner city is completely different than on the outskirts.
Yes, definitely.
And we have to be careful as people are working in that part of the atmosphere with that Neighborhood Watch because we don't want to really offend people in that type of atmosphere because there's a lot of stuff that we need. Logistics has to be worked out in order for that program to be effective for us in the inner city community. But no outskirts, the Neighborhood Watch is a perfect program for us in the inner city community. It's very, very difficult. But places like Omar and ourselves, we gaining traction where the community respects us enough. Right. So now we can start implementing these programs now, slowly but surely, on managing the community, safety requirements, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I just hoping that when our appointees on this board, we can be effective. And like I said, we're doing government work. We're doing this freely, giving them latest information, solutions. You understand, Omar? And we bringing them in the city. We touching base with the government officials, you know. So this is very important. So, like I say, that's what we're doing, and we actually volunteers people.
Let me ask a question to you.
Go ahead, sir.
A very simple question. Do you love your country?
I love my country because I know one thing. I ain't going nowhere else but I could get 1,000 years in America. I can't go on the beach when I could walk from Grandstand right to the beach. So if it's hot, I could get up and walk, you know. If I want to have some fun, or I need to talk, there are neighbors who I can talk to. I could walk from corner to corner to corner to corner. If I need to play the food, I could go this way, go that way, go that way. Where else do I want to go?
So, you see, I asked you the first question, and I feel as though you love your country because I never asked the second one. Why? You said it in one breath.
Mm-hmm.
See, Bahamas, understand this well. When persons come to you, let it be whoever it is, all right, from whatever denomination or whatever it is, you ask them that question, do you love your country? See, the United States is so great. When you sitting down and saying that pledge, or you trying to get citizenship or national residency or whatever, you got to swear to them people and tell them what they love, and you got to be able to say that.
The national animals.
You understand? That's and they say it wholeheartedly. Or them fellas say, buddy, you can't sing, but sing it like you love it. We have to get back to that with country. Every single person, don't care what nationality, needs to understand to love our country of the Bahamas. When you love our country, you can take care of our sun, our sand, our sea, our children, and our surroundings. You see? So if anyone comes to your door, let it be in a Seventh-day Adventist, let it be in a politician, let it be in any person, let them understand the question, and you be able to recite what you want to hear. Why? Like what you said to me just now. I ask you to love your country, and then you tell me why. I had to go back and say that because you know you love your country.
I love my country, boy.
This is all we have.
Yeah.
After this gone, and I'll tell you this, people, understand this well, every year the water table rises, everywhere. So there's going to be a time when this Bahamas ain't going to be no more. Because that's a group of islands, and I think Cat Island has the tallest...
Highest land point.
Highest land point. And that's our Premier's Island. So we got to go there and take care of that.
Yes.
Because guess what? You put a flag on the top of the tallest place in Cat Island, that could be the last place we see before we disappear. We have to love ourselves, but we have to love our country first.
Yes.
And that's every police officer, immigration, every government worker. We have to learn to love this. And love this is keeping the country clean. Love this is loving your neighbor as yourself. Love this, if you see someone out there, I don't say the guys are on drugs, I just saying, but you have people there who sitting down there don't have it. What $1 could do to you when you could buy, you have $3 and $4 and $5 and $10 you're putting out there. You know what I mean? When you see someone on the side doing something out of the way, people that speak to it. If a girl sitting down there, like the situation happened by the school the other day, when a lady came out, she might have had nothing else to put on. I just saying to you, it went viral. But she might just want to get her daughter there because ain't nothing else she have in the house. But wearing these little things.
And try out chick boo, mate.
And this is what I'm saying. She went there and she mightn't have been conscious of what it is. Granted that she was wrong because she had to be, but guess what? She mightn't say she wrong because she don't know no better. Because her mommy, daddy, cousin, sisters, everyone get her body riders. So they don't see no wrong in that. So the country go there and put a face out there and made it so viral. All right? But at the end of the day, we got to learn to love each other.
Yes.
What is happening with saying, hey, Valentino, boy, your shirt a little too loose or a little too tight. Tell the lady, miss, you know, I apologize, but at the end of the day, your cheeks showing, man, turn around here. And she might say, oh, goodness, I'm so sorry. I ain't got no husband or I ain't got no boyfriend. I just try to bring him down. We have to learn to love and be compassionate with each other.
I see the phone line sliding up. We can take these calls real quick before we run out of time. Go ahead, caller. You're on Guardian Radio. Hey, what you say, 52?
Yeah, bless up. You know, your brethren in the studio, right? I was supposed to dub you inner city ambassador. I can't say nothing less than so. You don't have to worry about that because you was in the struggle long. So I kind of familiar with your boy Omar.
Yes.
I don't think this is the first time he's on your show, right?
Yeah, so a couple times we've been
on. But you know, something you said is what I thought is very profound, and I know Omar would agree because. You know, from since I was calling and listening to you, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, I've never had any disagreement with you about anything, you know. That's what I'm saying. Because you paint a true picture and you speak what you see, right?
Yes, sir.
You're not gaslighted as to the social
That's 52.
Ecosystem that you see in the inner city. So one of the things you guys was talking about, you remember when we had the discussion about positive and negative reinforcement, right? Some time back.
Yeah.
And I say, wow, Scrooge knows about it. And then it was found that the positive reinforcement was better than the negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of agree with that. Like at my age, the problem is a 2-year-old I have. So I'm 58 years older than him, and he is like, wow, these phones and the technology and the dangers of the children becoming consumed. Even though there's a beneficial side to it, they have educational stuff that they're on, right? But it's a two-edged sword, and we're shaping the minds of young children. And so I listen to you and Omar talk. The family structure is much needed, like a single parent. They have to go to work, they have to do this, et cetera, the financial burden, the inflation, et cetera. And then we look at the injustices, right? Rich and I like for you to do a show, maybe just have like a 15-minute clip with inner city stories from people.
Okay.
And so we look at injustices, let's say, all right, me and the police are doing a fantastic job, right? Right? They're doing a very fantastic job, like moving around, keeping people doing what they're supposed to do, but against the public. But they're not doing a good job of policing themselves. And then I juxtapose what you guys are saying along with the injustices that take place in the inner city. So I hope they are listening, because some of the inner city youths need that love too.
Yes. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? In order to curtail them and the positive reinforcement and try to shape some of them, because we see everything is out of control right now.
Yes, it is. It is.
All right? We're hearing voice notes, we're hearing this and that, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But a story came by where a gentleman had called me and he said he was on his way to the complaint unit, right? He was involved in an incident, right? And he probably had a problem going to the barracks. And what happened is he was stopped and they turn him around and they tell him, since he this and that, he come back Monday or whatever time, right? But what I'm saying is, it was suggesting that, like people were saying for a long time that, they come into your homes, they without cameras, they do what they have to do, and then turn around and you have to go up to them to report them. So I thought it would be prudent if they moved that whole entity in just another domain, to give people
some safety.
Because you impede the person from his civil liberties to make a complaint. But I'm saying this, I'm just trying to do a little quick chronology of all the injustices and even going to court without lawyers, all the little different things, and the police have to do a better job of really, all right, like incidents is coming across, like people handcuffed and still being brutalized. These are the type things like where they should pass laws, but they're not going to do it, Scrooge. So we will continue to have angry youths in any which event anyhow.
Yeah.
Because of the same thing we discussed, positive and negative reinforcement. But as it relates to your area, I was surprised that the old abandoned camp place, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I pass it all the time when I go running the steps, and there's a stench coming from there of fecal matter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I could smell it, but I was like, wow.
I just clean it up. You want to see it clean?
Yeah, but Scrooge, man, environmental health. That's the
I know.
thing about you. You're doing a great job,
Yes,
Scrooge,
sir. Yes, sir.
do not be impeded.
No.
Give thanks.
Yes, sir.
Spread the word.
Thank you.
Hey, Scoochie.
Hey.
You say the Brennans is your family, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's in the book that Uncle I bought for my daughter. The book is called Baintown. There's a Brennan guy who was an MP for that area from back in the
that's my cousin.
The 40s and 50s.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, but I can't remember the name because I just had a cursory glance.
He get the one vote. Him and Sir Randall.
The Brennan's is big thing in the area.
Yes.
Bless up.
Yes, you're right. That's Alvin Brennan. He gave the one vote along with Sir Randall for the PLP to win the general election. We can take this last call, please. Right, caller, you're there. You have about 2 minutes, please, if you could.
Good evening. How you doing, Valentino?
I'm fine, sir.
Omar. What you say, boy?
He right there. He just stepped out for a minute. He'll be right back. Go ahead, but he can listen to you.
Yeah, I just want to commend Omar. What I like about Omar doing something in this community ain't showing no shade or worrying about what other people doing. He is stepping up to the plate and doing what he needs to do. And I believe that's what we need more in our communities. There are a lot of OGs that came from these communities that they sit back and all they do is sit down and complain.
Yes, sir.
I believe the time is over for complaining. I believe that when you're living in darkness, you could do one or two things. You could either light a candle or you could curse the darkness. Some days over for cursing darkness. We got to start lighting candles. A lot of young people, depending upon the experience
yes,
that
sir.
some of the OGs have, And we got to start, like, bringing back the code to the street. The code of the street is gone because the OGs sitting down playing like a bunch of little gals sitting around talking a bunch of stupidness. So, hats off to my boy Omar Smoothie Thompson and the work that he's doing in his community and the back to school stuff that he carrying on with. And we need more people like that inside some of these communities that are product of these communities to go back into these communities and give back not just in substance, but also in knowledge and wisdom.
Yes, sir. And this Mr. Reedy. This Mr. Reedy.
Sound like him?
This is Mr. Reed, man. I know Mr. Reed. This is Mr. Collins Reed. I give it a nice shout out. Yes, sir, Mr. Reed. Go ahead. Omar just reach back.
Omar, you could be on the radio and going out the radio, but well, you know what I mean? Everywhere you go, use one control, baby.
Well, Mr. Reed, you know, the good part about it, you know, you was a good friend of mine, so you could throw them blows. I'll take whatever you give to me, you know?
That's respect.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I rebuttal on nothing but you say.
Yes, that's respect.
You know, I like you like potato bread, but
man,
you know,
this one.
You was my boy, you was one of the real ones, you know?
Yeah, man, we come from a long way.
I don't know if you heard what I was telling Scrooge, but see, you one that ain't sitting down complaining, ain't sitting down throwing no shade, acting like no bunch of little snotty nose punk. You put your muscle to the wheel, you know, you step into the plate and you're swinging. And that's what we need in this time. We need more brothers to be swinging. You know, a lot of young brothers in our community, they looking up to us, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, if we act like girls, what you think they can do?
They can act like girls
start
themselves.
sticking around too. We got to start like getting back the way it used to be. I was telling a group of people the other day I was speaking to that when we were young, even if we wanted to play hockey, we couldn't play it around in the community.
No.
You had to go in the bush and do that because even though fellas was there, right, that was on rum, that was on dope, they had a standard in that area. You couldn't sit down and be smoking, doing dope and thing up with the fellas, them the OGs in the area. They'll cut your hair. Yeah. You see, we start playing around with these little snotty nose pumps, and this is why, like, it ain't no respect in the community. It ain't no more like code. You see, anybody can do anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see yesterday, right? Fella get killed in the front of your children. Y'all know when we was coming up on the street, if you see somebody with you warn and they children there, they get a blight. Yes, you know what I mean? There was a respect. There was respect for older people. Yes. There was respect for children. But now we allow these little snotty nose punks to come up where ain't no respect for nobody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's where we got to get back to.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes,
you know?
Sir. Yes, sir.
You know? So, Omar, you keep pushing. Do what you keep on pushing.
Yes, sir.
Stay focused. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Stay focused.
Yes, sir.
Stay focused.
Yes, sir.
I can't say that enough. Stay focused.
Yes, sir.
There ain't no time to be looking to the left and to the right. Stay focused.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Respect, Minister Reed, and same to you, man. You've been doing a good job, and we appreciate you. You was one of the pioneers, you know, coming from under Miles Monroe, and you've been pushing hard. A lot of young people respect you, and we have the same respect here, right inside this room.
Yes, sir.
And you know, it's just a time. You know, sometimes at the end of the day, I would tell you the race ain't for the swiftest, but those who enjoy it to the end.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You know?
Thank you very much.
You know, Scrooge,
Go ahead.
Omar, by you saying that, right? I was thinking the other day, next year is going to be 30 years, right? I've been hitting the streets. You know what I mean? I gave my life to Christ back in 1989. And from 1994, we've been putting on tournaments every year, people on the street every year for next year, 30 years, 29 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 29 years. Sometimes people see you and believe like you just reach. You know what I'm saying? Yes. They see you getting one little piece of blessing, they want to hate on you, but they don't know how long you've been in the valley.
Yes.
They don't know how long you've been in the wilderness. They don't know how long you've been struggling. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You know? But only you feels and knows it, yeah?
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Y'all just bless up yourself.
Thank you very much, son. You enjoy your night. And Mr. Reed, you get everything you deserve, you know, because you put in the hard work. You went out there and you got the information out there, what our country is facing. You brought a team in along with Miles Money and you continue your journey. You know, that's why I respect you. You know, many guys talk to me and say, man, Scooch, you must speak about Mr. Reddy. I said, hold on, my brother. I said, a guy step out there and he's helping a lot of people. There's no reason for us to do nothing or say nothing all the way towards Mr. Reid, because Mr. Reid is an outstanding citizen and he's helping the less vulnerable in this country. And for me, that is a plus to me, and I respect that. You understand? Omar Thompson is doing the same thing, and Mr. Reid is stating that, you know, you have to go out there and you got to make things happen. Omar started with $100. You know what I started with? I probably started with the same thing, but guess what? Working together, I was able to get the connection, working on the right side of people to build a center would cost over $1 million.
Yes.
And the next one, so we close to $1.5 million in the community and getting more investment to come.
Yes.
You understand? So put God first and everything else. He would wake up. You want to say anything before we go?
Yeah, Valentino, I just want to say to you, you're my friend, you're my brother. Keep pushing, keep making it happen, keep God in your life first. And anyone else out there who have the ability, who have the strength to be able to assist this young gentleman, be able to sponsor him, don't feel no weight. I talking about bring your car, you have sit down 4 or 5 cars in the yard, bring the gentleman a car, we could get to someone, bring some shoes, bring some clothes, let this man give out some stuff. He been doing this for a decade. That ain't no easy thing.
That radio I've been doing for decades. I've been doing like Mr.
On radio? Yeah.
On radio decades. 20, yes,
sir.
Right,
yes, sir.
Right.
But God is good.
Yes.
And he can keep pushing it, amen. Yes. And maximum respect, my brother.
Yes, thank you very much and for me helping you on the show and for coming at so short notice. And guess what? Like I said, there was a reason we connect. Now you see what you're doing, my brother. You're a bright light in the center of the level, and you're helping hundreds, and you will continue to help. All right, my brother?
Thank you, man.
Keep up.
Appreciate
United Against Crime.
All day.
Okay?
Yeah.
Valentino Brown, host of the talk show Inside NSC that premieres every Friday at 6:30, 8 p.m. We talk about solutions to our country's problem. We bring on persons like Carlos Reid, Omar Thompson, and many others. And we just like to talk about the good stuff they're doing in order to change the directory of our country. And we need to bring the family value and structure back in this country, like Mr. Reid said. So checking out. See you next week.